I want to say, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so 2018. This is when I managed offline TV, and I was doing a little bit of streaming on the side. I probably made like, probably like 70K, 70K, like not much. 60 to 70K, like something really, like I made very little that year. And then the year that I streamed full time, 2019, I probably made, I think, around 100K, but that's because that only happened because I did that month where I streamed every single day, and I think I hit the point of having like 8,000 subs for that 1 month. After that, the sub count just dropped straight back down to like 1,000 or something, or 1,500, I think. But per year, yeah. So I made, I think 2018, I made around 60 to 70K for like the whole year. And then in 2019, I like just broke 6 figures for the entire year in 2018. Sorry, 2019, in 2019. And then 2020 and 2021, I was working at companies, so that's totally separate. But yeah, so 60 to 70K in Los Angeles is actually like terrible. Because in Los Angeles, you have to, like, right now my rent is 2,000, 2,100 actually to be exact, and like my part of the rent is 2,100, right? So you multiply 2,100 times 12 and you already have $25,000. So if I'm making 60K and then I get taxed on that 60K, right, I'm only bringing home maybe like 50K, and you tell me half of that goes to rent, so now I only have 25K to try to like pay for food. Food's probably like a little under 1,000 a month, you know, depending on how good you are at portioning food. And then that's already another 12K. So now you 25 plus 12 is 37 of the 50 I'm bringing back. So I'm only still have 12 to 13K. And then like there's travel, you know, every time you go on a trip, that's like $1,000. There's streaming equipment. My PC itself costs 4,000. So suddenly, like at the end of the day, I'm actually losing money on the year. You know, it's kind of crazy. SF is even crazier. Anyone that lives in SF knows, like, rent is crazy, cost of living, food is crazy. Like, your normal brunch in Los Angeles costs, like, I went to a Hawaiian barbecue place, right? It's like a stall that, like, in like a janky food court, and their chicken plate for like brunch, it's like this it's not even, it's like in this little bowl, costs like $17. And that's pretty standard for Los Angeles, right? So if you go out and you're spending $20, that's like on the low end. You could spend like 30, 40 easy on food in Los Angeles if you go out. So it's freaking crazy. So yeah, TLDR, 60 to 70K in Los Angeles is nothing. College grads who work in Los Angeles, if you majored in like communication, there's some random ass music that you can hear on the No Pixel Radio. This is No Pixel Radio. Oh, let's go. So then, yeah, I made 100K the year that I streamed full-time chat, and that was a lot nicer, but at the same time, like, I spent so much money, dude. I made 100K. That was my revenue on stream alone. Like, we traveled, went to Hawaii, went to Korea. I paid for equipment. I had the IRL backpack. The IRL backpack is insanely expensive, chat, and I was paying for the whole thing. It's around $1,200 a month for just the IRL backpack. Fucking crazy. Most people don't understand why it's that cost. It's because you have to pay for server upkeep, maintenance fees. You have to pay for 4 data plans, which are truly unlimited data plans, like unthrottled. Each of those is like $250. You pay for like having a cloud server. It's crazy. So like paying around $1,200 a month for the IRL backpack. I'm paying $2,000 a month for rent. That's already $3,200. You know, I'm paying around $1,500 a month for food. There's like cost to the equipment. There's electricity bills, where when you're living in a house full of streamers, electricity is over $1,000 a month. It's crazy. So like, the years that I streamed, I actually saved like pennies. I saved maybe like a few thousand each year. Versus working in tech, when like I lived out in the city. I lived in Seattle, where rent's way cheaper, and there's no state income tax, and you know, like tech paid more, and so it's just like me moving into streaming chat was actually a terrible financial decision. Terrible financial decision, just straight up. 100k is a lot everywhere else, but SF it's like average. No, and 100k in SF is below average for sure. For sure. Yeah, 1k in electricity bills is crazy. Our bill in electricity would typically be around like $1,200 for three people. Me, Box, and Shanik lived in the same like apartment, and electricity was around 1,200. Yeah. Would you leave tech if you had the choice again? I mean, I just did that, actually. Not many people really know what I did in 2020 and 2021, but in the time that I was in streaming chat, I was working in tech. I was working at startups, multiple startups. I was at a couple of gaming tech startups. I worked at this company called Play Versus, which is bringing like esports to high schools all across the nation in the US as like an actual sport, you know, like football is like a varsity sport, you know, like basketball varsity sport, and then like League of Legends varsity sport. And so Play Versus, like I was working at that company as a product manager, and I worked at this like small Y Combinator company called Zellos. It's like a 7-man team, and then I worked on Pokey's company, which is like RTS, which is a talent management company. So I was doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and I was making more working at those companies than I ever made in streaming. So I'll tell you right now, like me coming back into streaming was not a financial decision. It was like it was a lifestyle decision, because not every streamer pops off like Timmy or like Leslie or like Pokey or like Toast. You know, like you see a lot of these streamers pop off, but most streamers make like nowhere near compared to the amount that they make, which is crazy.